Yokoso peeps, it's Oz. So today I'm making a short update and announcement video, and as you can guess by the title, it's kind of clickbaity, but it's also not. So let's get into it. So awesome. This video is brought to you by all my Patreon supporters. Go Team Awesome! So the first part of the title, the thank you, is a thank you to not only YouTube viewers in general, but also to my Patreon subscribers. Because of all of you, I've been able to do what I've been doing on YouTube, and I've been able to enjoy my dream of being a YouTuber. Now the goodbye part, the second part of the title, is for my Patreon members. Yes, I will be shutting down my Patreon at the end of this year. There's actually 3 reasons I want to tell you about why I decided to close down my Patreon. Before I get into the 3 reasons, I like to ask you guys if you would subscribe to my newsletter. The link is in the information section below. If you subscribe to that newsletter, it's free. It comes out once a month. And in that newsletter, there's links to videos that are not available on YouTube, stories, articles about the good and bad things about Japan. There's also a section called Question of the Month where I take some users' questions and answer them. And of course, if there's any requests or anything, you can always ask me about that in the newsletter as well. This is why I decided to close down my Patreon. Thank you for everyone who supported me throughout the years. I actually started my Patreon in January of 2017. So I've had a Patreon for 5 years. And some of those Patreon supporters who joined in the first year are still with me today. That's amazing. That means you guys have been supporting me for half a decade. Anyway, whether you supported me only for 1 month or for 5 years, thank you for your support, and thank you for reaching out, and not only for the support financially, but also the motivational support, and gave me kind of a push to continue doing my best on YouTube. And when I started Patreon, I was actually in a really tough situation financially as well. I was between jobs, I was moving to a different area in Japan, I had a lot of credit card and financial debt, and I was changing jobs, and there was just so much turmoil going on. So all the money that you guys gave me for the Patreon over the years really helped me out financially just to stay afloat in Japan. Which leads me to the first reason why I decided to shut down my Patreon account. Like I said, when I first started Patreon, I really needed it. It was even hard to make ends meet, like rent-wise and stuff. So every little helped, and through friends giving me loans and Patreon and YouTube and salary and everything all together, slowly I was able to build back up and get back into a situation where I'm pretty comfortable now. Don't get me wrong, I still need money and I would love to get as much money as I can, but I decided Patreon was maybe not the best option for me. So I live in a small town in Chiba, there's not much going on here, and thanks to COVID, I haven't been able to travel much, and I haven't been able to get out and do many things. So I kind of felt like the people who are paying money to my Patreon were maybe not getting the best content that they could possibly get in terms of like travel and behind the scenes and that kind of stuff. And even though I get like $80 to $90 a month from Patreon, which pays my, I guess, cell phone bill, it's double than what I get from YouTube. So I still appreciate it, and it still helped me out a lot. So I thought it was maybe a time for me to find other ways to try to grow my channel. So originally when I started my Patreon, the main reason I was starting the Patreon is I wanted to upload a lot of videos about local life in Japan, or real life in Japan, or unedited videos, or videos that are not available on YouTube, like exclusive Patreon only videos. But I realized that the content wise, because of, I would say in the last 2 years, because of COVID, I haven't been able to travel so much. I haven't been able to go out much. I haven't been able to spend a lot of money outside. So I've been eating at home a lot, or I've been like staying in my local town a lot. So I haven't been able to get out and explore as much as I wanted. And I haven't been going to a lot of like bars or restaurants or clubs or events or anything like that. So I felt like there wasn't anything really to show you guys other than my daily life in Japan. Also, content views. I've had Patreon subscribers from when I started to 0. I think my peak was I had about 50 Patreon subscribers, and now I have about 25, I think, or 30, something like that. So I've always had between, I guess, 20 to 50 subscribers, but despite that, my views, I think for every video have never been higher than like 8. So I think I average about 5 views per video, which is very low, but out of 50, it's not bad. I kind of felt like people are just supporting me for the sake of supporting me because they like my channel and they like me, which is great. But I wanted to provide some content for those people, and most people don't watch it. So I felt like it's kind of like a wasted opportunity. Not to say that I want all my subscribers to watch all my videos. I know people don't have time and people are doing their own thing. And I'm just happy that people are just pledging or supporting me for the sake of supporting me. But I kind of felt like all the content I'm putting on to Patreon could be used somewhere else and get more views out of it. If people are not watching my content, but they're supporting me, I'd rather they spend their money on stuff like sushi or Netflix or something like that. And the third and probably biggest reason or most important reason why I decided to shut down my Patreon is because of the reversal of the YouTube needs, I guess, or the YouTube trends. When I first started in 2017, there was a big, huge boom in Japanese vlogging. There was like Sharla and Abroad in Japan and Rachel and June and all these big channels of people putting out tons of content about Japan and getting so many millions of views and subscribers. It was like, I guess, the boom of Japanese YouTube vlogging. And at that time, everything was about looking the best, looking the prettiest, or having the best content with the highest editing and graphics and, I don't know, very polished videos that were very professional looking. It was like a race to see whose channel and video was the most like Hollywood-esque and very polished. So at that time, when I would upload any kind of video that was more like just a regular video of life in Japan, whether it be sitting in my room and talking, or walking around my neighborhood, or walking my dog, or showing just like a family restaurant or a convenience store, I would get a lot of comments like, "Oh, this is a good video, but you should get a better camera, or you should get a stabilizer, or you should invest in some kind of editing software and add some more graphics," or something like that. I'd always get like messages or comments saying I should up my quality. So I kind of got the feeling that everyone wanted to see like professional videos. So I did my best to like edit more professionally, made it look more like shiny and new and like an advertisement and like a travel style video. And then I created my Patreon to put all the videos that aren't like that. The videos that I used to make originally, where I'm just sitting talking or I'm just showing local things, I would put that on my Patreon. But now there's been a big change. It's been kind of a reversal with, you know, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and all these other social medias also having video capabilities. I feel like everyone just walking around with the camera, shooting with their smartphone. It's not really about quality of like the actual video. It's more about the content and the quality of what you're filming, which it was like in the beginning with YouTube, but it kind of became into a polished kind of like commercialized kind of thing. So it kind of went backwards, and now people are once again liking the raw, unedited, kind of natural videos of people just walking around. There's even a lot of videos because of the new shorts where the videos are like this way rather than the typical this way, like the smartphone way. That change in people's viewing habits means that all the stuff that I'm uploading on my Patreon only 5 people are watching, but those are the kind of videos that people want to watch now on YouTube regularly. So I decided if I close down my Patreon, all the content that I've been putting out there for Patreon, I could be putting out for regular YouTube and probably getting a lot more views than 5 views per video. And I also noticed because of the change, even commenters started commenting things like, this is a good video, but I still want to see like your everyday life in Japan. I still want to see like your local neighborhood or local convenience store, supermarkets, or just walking around town. So I realized like people are more interested in the roots of what YouTube used to be like, where it was more about just showing the true life of someone. It's actually a tube for you. So taking that content that I've been making for Patreon, putting it on YouTube would not only be free for everyone, so more people could enjoy it and they wouldn't have to pay for it. Even my Patreon supporters, the 5 that watch it, they could just watch it for free without having to pay anything. And it would kind of like be the best for everybody. So I will finish off this year to make it an even 5 years on Patreon. But starting January 1st, 2022, all my videos that I used to have on Patreon will be available on YouTube, and I will only be uploading on YouTube as of January. So I will still try to make the polished kind of videos if I do something special, like if I go on a trip, or if I have some special news, or if I'm doing some kind of product review. I'll probably stick to the style that I've been doing so far. But when it comes to regular videos, I'll probably be uploading maybe once or twice a week more regularly, and uploading more like raw, unedited, or slightly edited but more easy to digest kind of like real life videos. So hopefully you guys will stick around, because there'll be a little bit of both. But like I said before, thank you Patreon, because without Patreon I wouldn't have survived, and I wouldn't have kept probably doing YouTube. So Patreon kind of saved me and pushed me to continue on YouTube. And thank you everyone on YouTube, because even though it's been more than 10 years that I've been making videos and my channel has kind of like stayed pretty steady, it hasn't grown much, the people that keep coming back and the people that keep watching my videos are pretty steady, and they're always giving me positive comments and positive feedback, and you know, telling me how much they like watching my videos and liking my channel. So for all of you guys, thank you so far for the last decade, and I hope you guys continue watching. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the announcements. So yeah, thank you Patreon, goodbye Patreon, but hello YouTube, and welcome back. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get as many subscribers as I can before the end of the year. I want to hit 25,000, which I know is probably impossible, but you know, you can dream, right? Anyway, take care. Leave any comments you want, and I think that's about it. Just subscribe to my newsletter if you have the chance. That would be cool. Take care, and see you next time. Peace.